Hello and welcome back to 4FS Gaming, and I am looking for the first time at the roadmap for Star Wars Battlefront 2 that will last us out for the rest of this year. And initial impressions were disappointing. I've tried to maintain a very positive stance and attitude about how this game has been going, despite all of the controversy. And no, this was a bit disheartening, and we'll go through it, and we'll discuss from a pessimistic perspective why the roadmap is problematic. But then I'll explain, a bit of forced optimism, try and balance that out, and I'll try being the operative word here, make an argument for how this is actually a good thing, how this roadmap is going to fix the game and make it all great. You can tell I'm really convinced of my own opinion there. So, in July, Heroes Starfighters update. Now, this is centered around the new game mode. It's a 4v4 PvP game mode where you get to play as hero ships. I'm looking forward to it because I love Starfighter Assault and I love hero ships. I just really hope there's going to be enough people in my region still playing to get games with decent ping. That's always an issue here on the east coast of Australia. Along with this game mode, there's going to be a number of kind of really minor updates that they've said. I'm sure there'll be more balances, but some of the highlights will be heroes can turn lightsabers on and off on player command. Lightsaber blocking will now affect stamina. I thought it always did that. Players can swap appearances pre-round. Very nice quality of life update, but not game-changing. And Hero Showdown quality of life improvements. Again, it needs it, but it's not going to affect the majority of the player base. So far, so good. That I don't expect anything more than that for July. I mean, I'm just glad we're getting that mode earlier than fall. Or fall, for our Australian viewers, that is September onwards. That's actually spring for us. August. Appearances and more improvements based around cosmetics, essentially. There is nothing in the August update so far to affect gameplay. This is not a complete roadmap, mind you. I'm sure there will be something in here that affects gameplay, but we just don't know about it yet. So let's move straight on to fall, or September onwards. And we're getting two of the heroes that have been announced, Obi-Wan and General Grievous. I like new heroes. I think they're going to be a bit expensive. Not that matters because we're getting two now, or two in the fall and two in the winter. So you'll have plenty of time to save up your credits. And then we get the most interesting part of this entire roadmap, in my opinion, which is the new large-scale mode. This is what is going to make or break Battlefront 2 once and for all. If this is good, many people, like myself, will be able to play it for hours and hours and hours, for days and days, without any concern for the fact that we don't have many new heroes, we don't have many new maps. A conquest mode done well will keep the fire burning for me 100%. I think this is the key to the whole thing right here. More appearances for the clone troopers and heroes, and this is the second thing. Or not quite as big as this new game mode, but connected to it, a squad system. And they have said that the squad system will be the kind that you kind of start with the group of people that you're playing with, or you're assigned to a squad if you're not playing in with a group of friends, and you can spawn on your squad members, presumably if they're out of combat, allowing you to actually use teamwork in a game which so far has made it very difficult to use teamwork. And that's all for those 3 months. As for the rest of this content, Anakin Skywalker, Count Dooku, Geonosis, you're going to have to wait till December. Okay, let's just talk about that for a moment. There's more appearances here, but I'm not interested in that because it's, going to be continually rolled out. Anakin Skywalker, Count Dooku, Geonosis, December. Or later. December at the earliest. Now, the last big map that came out was Crate. That came out in December of last year. that means we will have gone an entire year without a big map being added in. Oh, it doesn't bode well. I think overall, what this whole thing is kind of telling us is that there might be a little bit of a skeleton crew issue at the Battlefront 2 dev team at the moment. I don't think they've got a whole lot of people working on this, just from the timeline, the time frame that they've announced here. Of course, there are still improvements on matchmaking, daily challenges, map rotation, bug fixing, and balancing that are going to be ongoing. That's very good. And they say that there is going to be more content and features to be confirmed in future roadmap updates. So I'm assuming in August there's going to be some more gameplay stuff. There's probably going to be some more smaller updates interspersed throughout here. We might not get all of this kind of grievous stuff in one update. Same with the winter update. I think it'll be split among a couple of smaller updates maybe. Maybe there'll be some other ones that they slot in. But this is what they're planned at the moment. So, the pessimist in me is saying that we're not going to get much more than this. This is kind of it for this year. And it's pretty light on, particularly in content. And I'm sure that there are many other YouTubers across the interwebs making videos or people writing Reddit posts about how disappointed they are with all this right now. And I'm sure that they've all got some very valid points, and I'm not going to spend this video rehashing them. Yeah, it's pretty light on for content. That's really disappointing. Moving on from that, because that's going to be covered a lot, I'm sure. The optimist in me says that that lack of content doesn't matter if this large-scale mode is good and the squad system is good. If these two work well, then I'm set. I'll be happy with that. In addition to the previous patches, which have significantly reduced load times, if they give me a nice large-scale mode and they fix the squad system, the game is good to go for me. Like, I don't particularly need a whole lot more maps, a whole lot of more heroes. I think there's a fair bit of content in the base game, but it just needs stuff like a new large-scale game mode or a fixed squad system. And of course, the hopeful optimist in me is saying that, well, they're going to add in all this other stuff in the August update, in between these. But their track record is not good, and I don't want to set myself up for disappointment. So don't be surprised if this is literally all we get this year in terms of content and more stuff isn't really added. Keep your eye out on the large-scale game mode and the squad system, because I think that's really make or break. Just a shame we have to wait so long for it. And stay tuned. If you want to keep up to date with the way I see things, please subscribe and tell us what you think of this in the comments. But please try and keep the discussion civil. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming.